October 2015, CIA Headquarters, Virginia. John Brennan receives a call from an unknown number. The caller appears to be a child who tells John that he has hacked all the systems of the CIA. This call would have been considered a prank call if it had been made to a common man. But John Brennan was the director of the world's most powerful intelligence agency, CIA, at that time, let alone calling him. Even knowing his personal mobile number is a big deal. This is the story of those two children who surprised a superpower like America by hacking all the systems of the CIA. Who were those children and why? And how did they accomplish this feat? Welcome once again to Wisdom Wave. When the caller is asked about his demand, he says that America should stop attacks in the Middle East, especially Palestine, and let the world live in peace. Even before his phone call, the CIA had come to know that their system had been hacked. You will get an idea of the damage this hacking was causing to America, including the CIA, later in the video. As soon as the call was disconnected, the entire American government and the CIA swung into action. And because a child had hacked such a big intelligence agency, it was a moment of great shame for the CIA. Let us tell you here that the agents of the CIA accept defeat only if their identity is disclosed. Even inside the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, there is a branch of Starbucks that serves coffee to the officers. The cups in which they serve coffee do not have any logo on them, and neither is the name of any agent written on them. The reason for this is that those cups cannot be traced and the agents cannot be reached. Now you can get an idea that the CIA, which takes so much precaution in small things, how big a deal it was for him that his system was hacked. When the investigation started, it was found that this call was made by a 15-year-old boy from Leicestershire, a city in England miles away from America. This boy called himself Cracker and had formed a hacking community named Crackers with Attitude. But to know how and why he hacked the CIA, we have to go a little further back to 2008 from where the story begins. In 2008, there was another boy in the U.S. state of Virginia who was known as Default, and he was very fond of video games. To win in video games, he started making some changes by entering the programming of the games. He used to modify online games like Counter-Strike according to his own convenience, and used to win the game very easily by changing its rules. That is, he used to make cheats, he started running things according to his own will, and he had learned all this from the internet. The boy named Default got the inspiration for all this from the hacking group named Anonymous, which had become very famous in 2008. The Anonymous group often made headlines in the news at that time. This group used to hack big websites to raise its voice and write messages of their choice on them. Seeing all this, Default was very impressed with Anonymous, and then he also started stepping into the world of hacking. Default slowly started hacking small websites, but he wanted to do something big for which he also needed a hacking group. Hence, Default joined a hacking group named Anon. Secretary. This group had hacked many websites earlier also, but this hacking was mostly done for political purposes. Anon SEC group used to use botnet. That is, they used to create viruses and spread them on the internet, and whichever computer that virus went to, it came under the control of Anon Secretary. All the computers which have the virus are called bots, while this entire network of computers is called botnet because being a member of Anon SEC, Default also had access to this botnet, and he saw that there was a computer in this botnet which belonged to a medical college in Canada. Default worked a little on that computer and got access to the financial records of that medical college. He saw that the school had to recover more than $9 million from the students, and all these records had now come to Default, which he deleted from the college computer. Default's first hacking was successful. Because of this, the entire system of the medical college was in a state of confusion. This first hacking was done by him as a prank, but the next hacking was done in anger. In 2014, the government of Denmark passed a shameful law according to which sexual abuse can be done with animals. This news was not liked by animal rights activists all over the world. Default himself had a dog which he loved very much. So Default got angry and along with his group hacked the official website of Denmark and wrote in big letters that, "Do you know that your government allows cruelty to animals?" Not only this, Default used a botnet to attack all the websites that were made in favor of this law and shut them down. Due to the hacking of Denmark's official website, this news spread and Denmark's move was criticized all over the world. People started abusing Denmark. Finally, the Denmark government could not bear this pressure, and the very next year, they had to withdraw this decision. Default had succeeded in his objective for the first time, but people started giving the credit to the anonymous group because at that time this hacking group used to make headlines. Default did not like the fact that he did such a big feat, but someone else was taking the credit for it. He did not lose courage and continued his work. Like other hackers, Default also did not disclose his identity. He knew that if he ever got traced due to hacking, the consequences could be very terrible. He did not normally use the Wi-Fi of his house, but he had bought a satellite connection which he had installed far away from his house, and from there to his house, he used the internet through a private network. His computer was also very secure. Due to this security, it took 30 minutes for his computer to turn on, but for the sake of his privacy, he had no problem waiting for so long. Well, till now you have known about only two characters of this story. One is Kraka, who lived in England, and the other is Default, who lived in the USA. They did not know each other before 2013, but an incident happened due to which both of them became one. Edward Joseph Snowden was working as a computer intelligence consultant in the National Security Agency. While working on an American government project, he came to know that the CIA keeps the data and private information of every internet user with itself and then uses it for its own purposes while the user is not aware of this. Edward wanted to uncover this secret of the CIA, but on the other hand, he was also afraid that this could not be done while living in America. Either he would be killed or he would be sent to jail for leaking secret information. That is why Edward took leave and went to Hong Kong, where he revealed this secret of America to the world in front of a journalist. As soon as this news leaked, there was a stir in the whole world. People were angry that their data was being used without their permission, and their actions are being monitored every moment. As a reaction to this, Default and Kraka got in touch with each other. Both decided to teach a lesson to the American government and the CIA. They wanted to make the CIA realize how it feels when people's personal information is leaked. Kraka and Default had the same motive. Default wanted to take revenge from the USA for destroying the privacy of its people, while Kraka wanted to take revenge for the attacks on Gaza. That is, the enemy of both was the American government. First of all, they made public the phone number of James Clapper, the director of the American National Intelligence Agency, and anyone could get his phone number by just Googling it. Now, they wanted to hack another high-profile person, and they took up the mission of hacking CIA Director John Brennan. When Kraka started searching about John on the internet, he came across a public phone number of his. He saw that the number belonged to Verizon, which is an American mobile operator. He called Verizon's internal tech team, pretending to be an employee of the same company, and said that he was contacting them to solve a customer's problem because there was a technical issue in his system. Verizon's team asked for his PIN code to confirm his identity, which they had already found out by hacking. After verification, Verizon shared John Brennan's personal details with Kraka. Now Kraka had John Brennan's account number, backup mobile number, address, and the last 4 digits of his bank card. Now the next step was to hack Brennan's email. He found out the last 4 digits of Brennan's email, which Kraka already had. In this way, Kraka immediately got access to his email address. Now the personal email account of the CIA director was with Kraka. He opened John Brennan's private email, in which all the important and top secret documents were present, the data of other CIA officers, their social security numbers, and instructions received from the government. By then, Brennan also came to know that his email account had been hacked, and he immediately closed his account. But now it was too late because Kraka had downloaded all this data to himself. Kraka started making all the official documents public one by one, which created chaos in the whole of America. The CIA was being defamed all over the world. Now it had become a compulsion for them to catch the hackers. They wanted to catch them as soon as possible under any circumstances, but they could not get any clue. A few days after calling John Brennan, Kraka shared the personal information of 9,000 agents of the Department of Justice and 20,000 agents of the FBI on social media. After doing all this, Kraka was living his life comfortably. He thought that it was impossible to catch him, but on the other hand, Default, who was a resident of USA, started getting worried. He was afraid that if he was caught, he would be disgraced. He would never have been caught if Default had not made this mistake. He told his friend in a drunken state that he was behind hacking the CIA. This mistake took both Default and Kraka to jail. After a few days, the FBI raided Default's room and dragged him away. During interrogation, Kraka's name also came up, who was arrested with the help of British police. Kraka's real name is Ken Gamble, while Default's name is Justin Gray Lieberman. Due to his young age, Kraka was sentenced to 2 years of imprisonment, while Default, who was not directly involved in the hacking of the CIA, was sentenced to 5 years. Both are free from jail today and are pursuing their career in cybersecurity. So friends, what do you think? Both of them did right or wrong? Do let us know in the comments. I hope you will like and share this video by Wisdom Wave, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you in the next great video.